Hello, what's up? I am driving right now. I am not used to this brand new car my partner bought 2-3 months ago. I'm driving on a bridge named Gyeongho-hashi. So it's raining, it's very busy on the road. Today I went to Hiroshima airport to see off my partner who's going to Tokyo to meet his friends. He used to go to the private junior high school and high school. You know, in Kanto area, there are tons of private school, including junior high, elementary school, high school, uni. There's so many choices. So one of the things I really like living in, one of the reasons I like to live in Hiroshima is not having too many options. I really like the size of the city. It's not too big, it's not too small, not too rural countryside. Still the city, but it's not huge. So if I were still living in Tokyo, it would be really difficult to keep going to the working place every single day in a packed trains. Or it might be really difficult to find a decent apartment to live in the city center because it's so expensive. Here in Hiroshima, everything is so close to each other. Working place, apartments, or shopping area. And they don't offer too many options for everything. It's limited. I think it's really comfortable, especially when somebody is raising their kids. Having too many options, sometimes it's not good. I think for the English-speaking beginners, they are thinking too much. Just keep outputting. It's okay just doing so even at the piece, and it doesn't have to be a sentence. Just don't make any silence, just keep doing. If one is thinking too much about the grammar or having a perfect sentences, it limits our conversation. That kind of mental barrier is one of the biggest barrier when people learn new language. As for reading and writing, it's okay, you can take your time. But as for the conversation, there are people who are waiting for your words. But it's better to speak slowly, choosing your words to structure the sentences, to say something very meaningful. If somebody is talking very fluently with no content, it will be more boring than having more silence in the conversation. You know what I mean? The top priority in conversation is to have opinions of you or saying something with content. And after that, second comes being fluent to make that conversation a little bit smoother. But last comes how perfect it is as for the sentences. Nobody cares about the grammars. Now I am back to the city center, and before coming back home, I am planning to stop by my working place a bit. Because last time I went to my working place by myself is 3-4 days ago. It's too long absence. I am the owner of the small business for foreign tourists. I can't say the business type, but that's why I use English every single day whenever I am in the office, my working place. So now I am working with 3 foreign people, and every single time I have to point out something if I realize them. It's like an old lady who's just keep pointing out something negative. I don't want to be like that, but I have to. Now I'm driving near the football stadium. I think having a soccer stadium very in the center of the city is really good for the economy. So today it looks like they have a match inside the stadium. That's why there's so many people. Talking by yourself for a long time, is it painful? For me, not at all. I'm really used to making some talk with nobody because that's how I learned English. Even when I travel, especially outside of Japan, I just keep talking to the smartphone so that I can record everything, what I noticed while I'm traveling. It takes time when I leave some memo by text. Oh, can't listen to any music when I record myself. So the new car has the winker lever on the left, but our old car has it right. That's why I'm getting confused so many times. The car is from Fiat, Italian brand. I don't care the car brand actually. My partner chose it because he wanted to put his bikes on the car. You know, I am so bad at parking, so I hate these big cars, but I can't say no. So my partner, he really likes bikes, so he wanted to have a bigger car. Alright, we're here. Nothing special in this conversation, but it's okay. I keep talking in English, right? Right, let's go home now. I finished my stuff in my working place. I was planning to get some 1万円札, 10,000 yen note, but I didn't find any, so I hate driving in this narrow roads. There are too many one-way roads inside of a city, and the car is getting bigger and bigger. I got a driver's license here in Hiroshima. I used to have autobike license. I got it in Tokyo. At that time I was living in Tokyo and I was like, maybe I don't have to have a car license because inside of Tokyo nobody has a car. But yeah, I'm in Hiroshima, so I should get one. Even though I'm not using it every day. For weekend we do. So when I was in the driving school to get a license, I had to plug this on the real road, and I found it really difficult driving with some traumas on the street. And usually you always find some parking car on the street, so we need to avoid those cars. So sometimes we have to be on the tram rail, and it was really scary for me. Maybe it's because it's raining today. It depends on the air pressure. Now I can speak a little bit of English, but at first I couldn't. Even though I studied a lot when I was a student, I could score like over 900 in TOEIC, but it doesn't help. Completely different thing to talk. Once you get used to listening, at least we can communicate because you know what they are talking to you. And if you have time, you can make a sentence by yourself. You already have a knowledge. So maybe the fastest way is to install some kata, because if we have some moles, we can change a little bit of that part. If you install like 100 sentences beforehand in you only have to change a little bit elements from those kata. When I was a high school girl, we didn't have any school uniform because it was really free school in Tokyo. But girls, most of the girls really wanted to wear some school uniform-ish kind of fashion. And I was doing the same thing. So we went to the East Boy. It's a brand's name from Shibuya or something. We went to the East Boy to some school uniform-ish skirt, shirt, and some sweater. So we have several choices every morning to put together to make it look as a school uniform. Colors of the ribbons or ties, neckties. That kind of mold, hata, is very convenient. We can change the color, but we don't have to change the type, right? Maybe we had some options whether to choose loose socks. It doesn't have to be very many, like maybe starting from 30 sentences. I used to have a book named Shingo no Bera Bera English or something like that. And I didn't watch the TV, but in the TV program, he was practicing for English conversations. And he had to memorize some sentences beforehand for the TV program. That kind of sentences were published as a book. And I still remember there was a page about, I'll take some French fries too, という文. I'll take some French fries too. 2まで入ってる。I'll take some French fries too. I don't know why, but I do remember that sentence very well because there are katakana to teach people how to read the sentence. And as katakana, I will take some French fry too. And I was like, I will. Oh, I'll. I will. No, I'll. Oh, it's really similar to the real pronunciation of English. I was impressed. And since then, I tried not to do the katakana eigo. It's not the real pronunciation, right? That book was really, really helpful for the beginners, as a beginners. In Japan, from the young age, we are supposed to face katakana eigo, Japanglish. So the pronunciation of the English words are supposed to get ruined by those katakana kyoki, like Starbucks, McDonald's. But actually, nobody is talking about Starbucks. It's Starbucks and McDonald's and chocolates. It's completely different. So we have to remember 2 different pronunciations for just one word. Chocolate and chocolate. It makes very difficult for Japanese students to learn a real pronunciation of English. So busy on the street. Finally, I am coming home, and the last challenging thing is parking. If you don't have any topics to share with, I recommend you to just keep recording the video while you're driving like this. You don't have to send me. You just have to check by yourself in the end of the day. Sometimes I record myself to check my sentences or pronunciation. It's good enough or not. And I look over so many times just for one video, like 4 or 5 minutes. It has a lot of findings of myself. There's so many mistakes which I can't realize by myself while I was speaking, but I should have. Last time, I talked about my travel plans in the future, and I mentioned about the luggage. Luggage is uncountable noun, but in the video, I said luggages. It's so embarrassing. After editing the video, I realized I was saying that kind of stuff. Those simple mistakes, I really want to reduce them.